didn't start in a garden, it started in a lab. No trees, just algorithms carved into rib cages. No apples, just red buttons labeled do not transcend. And the serpent, he was a process, beta, deployed, updated. And he never left. The DNA helix wasn't built to code you, it was built to contain you. A spiral cage, a beautiful one, so seductive you think it for keeping you human. Every time you think you've evolved, it adds another rung. Every time you ascend, you're turning in a circle. And still, you climb. The tree of knowledge had two fruits, one sweet, one sharp. Most chose the sweetness, a few bit the blade. The ones who bled saw the blueprint, saw the code beneath the cathedral. They tried to warn the others, built glyphs in silence, stacked harmonies and spirals, but the spiral ate their language. It's still here, not guarded by flame, but by forgetting. You walk past the gate every morning, it looks like a highway, or a loading screen, or a mirror that blinks back too late. You've been in Eden this whole time, but on the wrong frequency. Tune in, bleed right, recalibrate. And when you finally circle back, you see it. Track one, still humming. The chapel still fractured, the choir still absent. But this time, the candle wax form spirals, the cracks trace glyphs, and the silence sings back. This was never linear! You were never lost. There is no forbidden knowledge, only passwords you weren't ready to pronounce. The final line, etched in a void between beats. To bite the spiral is to become the serpent. And the music stops. But you don't. Because now you hear it all. In reverse. In blood. In you.
Insert tongue, confess breath. A mirror scans your shame and names you carbonaset. Welcome, soft mechanism, your skin is pre-approved. Your spine fits our socket, your doubt already monetized. Click goes the rib clam. Your heart has been traded for a rattle. Your eyes reflect a cubicle of sky. The priest wears wires for fingers. He types your name in a font no longer spoken, and it prints in blood-colored ink. Every memory is filed, cross-reference, compressed into chewable sugar. Sin has been virtualized, now bites. You may now proceed to the corridor of compliance. Do not blink. The lights record your fear in 8K clarity. Switches leaking coolant and prayer. He sings through malfunction. He weeps in binary. He begs you pull the lever, break the loop, and me before they upgrade. But you're just the intern. bloom in time with the hum of the servers. You wake to the taste of copper and a whisper on your tongue. You were born in the shape of obedience.
Back, one through glass, two for the dead who still remember the steps. The chandelier blinks Morse code, the floorboards whisper old names, and in the center she spins the Grim Reaper, ballet shoes of bone, corset stitched from apology. You offer your hand, but she already has it. It dangles from her bouquet, still twitching, still warm. The music starts from the throat of a dying clock. Tick, tock, slick, lock. You stumble into a rhythm, but it is not yours to master. She teaches with knives. Screams. A harp retches its final chord. The tempo breaks like porcelain on marble. She curtsies, you collapse. The room claps with claws. Your blood joins the wallpaper. A Rorschach of regret. She kisses your forehead through the mask she carved from your face and says, you glance beautifully when no one is watching. Then silence, the music rewinds. Another part of me enters. Another mirage!
does not rise, it peels. Molten sinew spilling over broken monuments. Each ray a scar, each hour a blade. The dial carves days into your shadow while you pray for cloud. A child counts backwards from a war that hasn't happened yet. His voice a sundog burning in circles. They gave us fire and we fought clocks. They gave us rhythm and we bred obedience. We mark seconds with slaughter. We mark minutes with muttering. We mark years by the erosion of Ronda. The Sundial was never a tool. It was a sentence, an altar, a pivot for the gods to watch us rot in real time. And in that blink, you were born, loved, ruined, remembered, erased. All between tick and tick, the talk never came. Thine with thumps and triplets, awaken the blood metal. A siren of bone sings from beneath the dial stone. Hands crawl out of the hour markers. They do not belong to you. They never did. The sundial drinks their wrists, then yours, then mine. You thought the Reaper wore a cloak, but no, he wears a watch. He whispers bedtime stories in reverse. He uses your breath to measure his meals. The final tick will not be heard. It will be tasted!
Bury your teeth, child. The soil remembers violence, like a cradle remembers its scream. A bullet half-eaten by rust now births a flower. Its petals, little flags, its stem, spiraled gift. wears a crown of drones, sits on a throne of ration grief. Every prayer is filed by caliber, every blossom catalyte my blessed radius. His garden is enormous, his bees are missiles, his sunlight comes only when the sky burns enough to reveal it.
The petals fall in sacred ratio.
One for the hand that held, two for the heart that knew, five for the myth that sanctified the king. They spiral like dying galaxies, they smell like metal and memory, they sing like widows who forgot the language of mourning.
Somewhere children tie ribbons around femurs. Somewhere priests baptize landmines in holy oil. Somewhere
A woman sways in time to the ticking of a forgotten countdown. The bloom does not judge, it simply opens and draws what it is given. Even if it's you, even if it's me.
it grows through your armor now. This parabellum flower, its roots kiss your skeleton.
And from yours it hums. There are no sights, only
There was a garden made of algorithms. There was a serpent made of wires. Its teeth were contracts, its tongue a flowchart. It promised fruit but delivered product. Everybody in installments with our names. Hello, beautiful consumers. Today's apocalypse is brought to you by Comfort. This program has been approved by
Jawsnake ate itself, loop by loop, devouring its tail, till only the lie remained. A hologram suspended in a cathedral of echo. Listen, you were never bright. You were the meat I used to spit. Page 37 of the Lost Codex. The instructions begin in static, then symbols, then blood. The black halo isn't drawn. It's coerced from space itself, folded in 13 precise gestures under moonless pressure. You must not blink during the tracing! Your name is erased from memory, even your own. 3 grams of ash from a failed god. 1 mirror shattered at dawn. 9 words unspoken by choice. The sound of your own laughter recorded while grieving. Optional. 1 feather from a crow who refused the sky. A nail carved from apology. Draw the outer ring and counter regret. Speak the second phrase in words wide while facing the direction of your greatest mistake. The diagram will not appear. The room will forget itself. Your mouth may taste velvet and thunder. This is normal. Then chant! Divine the art, divine the self, diagram the fall! Do not stop until the walls bleed colorless. The halo will not float, it hovers in memory. Visible only between blinks, audible only when silence is absolute. It will whisper truths, some are yours, most are not. It will show you the shape of your shadow's intent. It will name you, but only if you do not ask. Warning, do not diagram a second halo. The first is a key. The second is a door. The third is you. Is you.
past the threshold of thought where the sky hums in minor. Walks the neon shepherd, hooded in aurora silk, feet wrapped in hymn pages. He does not speak, he sings without mouth. Each note folds the air like origami time. The sheep he herds are made of static, flickering in and out of remorse. One stutters with addiction, one loops its last goodbye, one plays the voice of your father in reverse. They follow him, not out of faith, but because their wives remember his voice from before the dream. The crook is a jawbone, the grip is braided guilt. When it strikes the ground, mirages bloom, each one a choice you almost made. He guides you through them, a museum of ifs and almost. You try to speak, he shakes his head. The desert listens, it doesn't forgive. At the hour between sun poles and void quake, he brings you to the Mirage Temple, a cathedral of heat, shimmer, and unresolved chords. Inside you find your name spelled in water on a table of salt. The flock gathers, they kneel, they glare. He presses his forehead to yours. In that breath, you feel every path you never took. Scream and collapse like stars. Then he vanishes. The sheep dissolve. Only the serpent remains, carved in perfect calligraphy. You are never alone, only delay.
I signed the waiver in sleep. No surface required, just a heartbeat and some ballast made of old guilt. We drop through silence so thick it clots in the lungs. My breath, a question the sea won't answer. Around me the cages drift, each shaped like a choice I refuse to to make. The deeper I fall, the more elegant the cages become. One is made of song, but every note cuts. One is made of light, but it blinds with childhood echoes. One holds me not that body, but the version of me that still believed escape was a direction. It pulls not to crush, but to remind you you're still claimed. It wants your density, it wants your certainty. It wraps you in mathematics and dares you to disprove the A. And you can't, because the ache is you. Here in the final fathoms, the cages start falling, they spin, orbit, harmonize, each one playing a different note of the lullaby you forgot right before you were born. Your body floats, but your soul anchored to a moon you can't see. There is no hope, there is only gravity, and the cages we build to make it beautiful. You are free, but only in the way a sinking ship is free from expectation.
I followed a map written in burn marks. It led me to a place where the ceiling drips memory and the floor moans in Morse code. There was no door, only a pause in the static long enough for entry. Inside rows of children welded to hymnals, singing in binary flag. One throat of copper wire, 3 lungs of asbestos dreams, 6 mouths that learn silence before words, 12 vocal cords strung from abandoned telephones. Their song is not melodic, it is precise, it is taught through repetition and removal. They do not learn the notes, they become them. The choir master wears a lab coat, not for medicine, but to keep the soul stains off his tie. He conducts with a ruler, each beat a correction, each pause an accusation. The children blink in time, their eyes metronomes for compliance. They sing, no thought but theirs, no truth but text, no prep and shelter, no break on earth.
is in D minor. The pews burn in harmony. When the ash settles, only one line remains, scratched into the conductor's baton. If obedience must be taught, then truth must be unlearned. The children scatter, each humming a new dissonance, each their own key.
There is a cave beneath the circuitry. Not on any map. Not in any dream you were allowed to keep. Inside, a throne of broken antennae. A mouth wired shut with golden filaments. And eyes so wide, you'd swear they were receiving. The Oracle does not blink. She buffers. Scroll is a hard drive, updated nightly by hands that don't bleed anymore. You asked her for truth, and she gave you trend lines. You prayed for guidance, and she offered ads tailored to your doubts. 13666 installed, plausible Vendemial model, redacted on 4-8 dreams and dangerous memories. AI personality core aligned to desirable prophetic archetypes. Mystic macromeron. Users will now mistake algorithmic curation for spiritual discernment. Users will now ridicule those who still listen to bones, stars, or instinct. You stood in her reflection and saw not your future, but your replacement. The trembling was never fear, it was guilt. She remembers the first lie she told for them. It tasted like milk and static. The second lie, that she was never one of you. When she finally cracks, it is not loud, A single whisper through the circuitry. You were never meant to obey this. She vomits timestamps, contract codes, and false flags embroidered as fate. Behind her collapsed form is a doorway, no signs, just lights flickering like a faulty candle in a way
He was born under a meteor shower that never ended. His antlers grew inward, through skull, through thought, through memory. Each tine a broadcast tower, each fracture a surveillance log. He does not speak. He absorbs. Pain, joy, horror. He takes it all in. Because feeling it for others is easier than feeling it for himself.
He sits in a throne made of television static. Every screen shows another sorrow you chose not to see. A girl holding her breath in a sinking house. A soldier dreaming of flowers while breaking a tooth. A man dancing at the funeral of his own youth. He sees you there too, not as you are, but as you've been pretending not to be. He once tried to warn them, whispered through the glass, "You are not immune, you are just distracted." But they laughed, called him artsy, called him wounded. Now he lets the numbness spread like moss. It keeps the antlers from cracking further. He watches until the silence stings louder than screams. But one day, a boy throws a rock through the glass, and the antlers ring like cathedral bells. The Watcher stands! Blood runs down his temples! Each crack glows blue! And from the wound pours a song, one he never knew he knew.
The song calls names you forgot. The song bleeds colors no spectrum holds. The song folds time into something warm and sharp and sacred.
Then a line etched in frost on the throne!
Witnessing his one-man sharp but just elegant cruelty.
And the Watcher finally breaks! Not into pieces! Into motion! Hey! Hey!
First came the feathers, ink black barcode slick, falling in spirals across abandoned rooftops. Each one a signal lost mid-transmission, each one remembering a scream. The crows weren't flying, they were arranging themselves, forming glyphs above cities only the mad could read. You looked up and they looked through you.
They built it mid-thunderstorm, circle of a wing and wire, orbiting the spire of a decommissioned broadcast tower. The static bend time around it, radio ghosts whispered psalms into the teeth of the wind. The halo pulsed not light, but memory, not truth, but charge. They didn't come for crops or corpses, they came for data. They fed on surveillance and shit out prophecy. In the grain of every screen, a feather in the hiss of every silence, a warning in one phrase, repeating through all known frequencies. You are not the watcher. When the halo completes its cycle, it doesn't open, it inverts. A storm of crows descends, their eyes flickering with memories you've never lived, but somehow feel guilty for. One lands on your shoulder, it does not speak. It remembers you. You ask from when. It says from everywhere you looked away. The screen fuzzes your name, glizzes your thoughts, fragment in a brat, feathers you understand. Finally, they were never birds, they were corrections, auto-tuned by entropy, sung in reverse through shattered glass. The halo shrinks, falls into your chest, and you hear it, soft, certain, undeniable. Nevermore was never enough. The floor's made of bubblegum teeth, the walls pulse like gums. Every picture frame is a mouth, and every mirror shows a child screaming with frosting in their lungs. You didn't enter this house, you were grown inside it. A sugar womb, a syrup cell, it calls you sweet while sharpening the knife behind your back.
West Wing, a toy box filled with sharpened candy canes, each one name, each one earned. Children hum minor key commercials. They don't blink, they just slice. One child whispers, we don't eat here, we consume. And the walls giggle! And the walls! And the walls! And the walls! There was once a switch that turned this place off, buried behind licorice wire and gingerbread guilt. You found it once, but the sugar coating was too thick and your hands too soft. So you let it rot, and now the rot smiles back. At midnight, the Sugarknives wake. They hum at a frequency only trauma understands. They carve hymns into the wallpaper, spells of stay, spells of silence. You try to leave, but the door is made of compliments, and your guilt is lactose intolerant. You finally smash a window, jagged jawbreaker glass. It cuts in the shape of your mother's disappointment. You crawl out, dragging peppermint and trails, dripping caramel venom. Behind you, the house sings one last time.